Smeared by Johnny E. Sanders. Chapter 3. I'm Devin James. My life was at a crossroad. I was fighting personal issues that haunted me. I was possessed by them. My entire life I'd been stable and secure. But at that point in my life, all I wanted to do was crawl into my shell and focus all my attention on the memories of my daughters. I had quit practicing law. Mentally, I was too disturbed to represent anyone. Fortunately, I could focus at my children's clothing store, Tiny Tots Closet. Pearl and I had opened it after the twins were born, so there, the essence of my angels was with me. Business had slowed with the economy, but the side hobbies I'd started with my mother and Melody, my daughter, that was 17, promoting spade tournaments, dance contests, and small blues concerts, had become highly successful. They were for the older crowd, but Melody had been mature beyond her years. It came from hanging out too much with her grandmother. I could concentrate, actually enjoy myself while promoting. As I cleaned up and locked up the recreation center with my mother and a few of her friends I'd hired to help, it felt as if Melody was beside me, just as exhausted, just as excited about the turnout. Once I entered my home, I saw the remains of Pearl's attempt at a romantic evening. Our bedroom was dimly lit by moonlight, but I could see Pearl's figure in bed. I knew she wasn't asleep. She couldn't sleep without me being home. Once upon a time, she would have been at the spades tournament with me. We would have even entered as partners. But we were handling the deaths differently. I was holding on while it seemed Pearl was trying to forget. Pearl snuggled close to me. I needed her warmth. I've got a new marketing strategy I want to use for the store. I want to tap into the girls' college funds. Pearl was still at the stage where she was uncomfortable discussing our daughters. I closed them already. I mentioned it to you about using half to buy CDs. She rolled over, facing me. Her expression told she had something serious she wanted to discuss but knew it was touchy. I want to use the other half to buy a new home. I couldn't speak. I couldn't believe she could even think of such a thing. Since the sales are dropping, we could accept the last offer. People were offering to buy Tiny Tots Closet all the time, but I wasn't going to sell. We'd opened it for our girls. It was theirs. Pearl was trying to erase my daughters from my life. I felt like I was laying next to a stranger. Not the woman I'd loved for 23 years of the 42 years I'd lived. I got out of the bed without saying a word, then went to Ivy, my 5-year-old daughter's room. I could hear her crying. Melody was rocking her, comforting her. It's all right. Daddy isn't going to allow Mommy to sell the house or the store. Right, Daddy? It wasn't my imagination or subconscious. I could see, feel, and hear, plus talk to my daughters. But to Pearl, who was standing in the doorway, I seemed disturbed, rocking while lying on my daughter's bed. We'd left her room the same for 12 years since her death. It had been too emotionally painful for us to change the room. So I'd cleaned it while Pearl avoided it. She wouldn't dare enter the room, so she backed away. To keep from going totally insane, I was seeing a therapist to help deal with my grief. My doctor was the youngest of the Wright sisters, Annette. I'd attended high school with 2 of her older sisters. They shared the same beauty and brains as my doctor. She was the city's psychiatrist. And since I was on leave from my public defender job but still listed as a city employee, the city paid for my sessions. I tried to get Pearl to attend the sessions with me, but she wasn't ready, as she'd put it. The sessions were useful because they gave me a release, someone to vent to. If we do, I won't be able to talk to my angels. I felt as if I was fighting to keep my daughters alive. They can hear you wherever you are. Yes, but their essence is at home and Tiny Tots Closet. I hadn't told Annette I could actually see them and converse with them. I was afraid she would admit me to the mental ward,